Alright, hi everyone, my name is Derek, and who is ready for some Bionicle? This is LEGO Bionicle Tales of the Tohunga, also known as LEGO Bionicle Quest for the Toa, also known as just LEGO Bionicle depending on your region and when you bought the game. This game has a lot of names, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to get right into this, and I'll sort of have some time to explain a lot of what's going on in the run near the beginning. So, timer is going to begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so starting off here is just this tutorial area. There's not really too much going on, like I said here, so I can just sort of explain the run a little bit. So this is a 2001 GBA game developed by Sapphire for the LEGO Bionicle toy line, and it is a sort of I missed a jump there. Wow. Okay, so anyway, this is a sort of like early isometric 3D kind of thing, so it's real wonky in pretty much every way imaginable, and we're going to exploit that to the best of our ability, meaning we're going to skip something like 80% of this game. I'm going to attempt to get behind this little turtle here, and it is being a pain. Here, I'm going to throw this out of the way here. This totally negates the time save I would get by doing this, but I wanted to do it anyway, so that's a curve jump. Normally it is TAS only, but we can do it with a pause buffer RTA. And normally that means you don't have to pick up that turtle, but because I fell in the water earlier, it messed up the positioning of the turtle, so I couldn't get in the position, so whatever. No time save there, but it's like not a big deal. So basically that is the tutorial area right there, and I'm immediately gonna get started talking about this first major glitch here because it is gonna be like one of the most important things in the game. It is called Throw Swap Glitch, and Throw Swap Glitch lets you have infinite ammo in the most powerful weapon in the game. And if that sounds a little broken, that's because it is. In this game, you can have two weapons equipped at the same time, one on the L button and one on the R button. And if you have two different weapons equipped, like I'm going to set up right here, if you press L and then R quickly, you use the L button's ammo to fire the R button's weapon. And what that does is that means that we now have 147 shots of the explosive fruit, which is the most powerful weapon in the game. This has the effect of basically one-hitting everything in the game, minus most bosses in the game are immune to that weapon, except we have a boss coming up here at the very beginning, here at the end of this room actually, that is not invulnerable to it because you're not even supposed to have this weapon at this point in the game. So they never really thought to make that boss invulnerable because you're not even supposed to have that weapon yet. So we can one-shot it, and we're going to do that instead of like hitting it 5 times. Also, you can bonk the wall there, and it means you don't take damage from the boulder, and it's also the fastest way of getting through that little corridor there. So coming up here is that boss we're going to one-shot. Normally you have to hit it like 5 times, and it spawns these little minion guys that are just really annoying, and I don't want to deal with that. So I'm just going to roll this boulder over here, and throw swap, and it's dead. So throw swap is basically giving us ammo in this weapon before we even have access to it. So that was the first main dungeon area in Onukoro here. We just picked up the Grapple launcher, which is the most broken item in the entire game, but the first thing we're going to do is not use it. And that is because this trick we're going to do here is called Grappleless, and it basically is what it sounds like. Normally you're supposed to use the Grapple launcher right here, but it's a little bit faster and more consistent to just do this and make our way through. But don't worry, we are going to be completely breaking the game in half with the Grapple launcher coming up very soon here actually. I'm just going to start explaining this right now because it's going to take a little bit of time to explain. Like I said before, you can have a weapon on both L and R. But not only can you have like 2 different weapons set up like I have right now, you can also have the same weapon, including the Grapple launcher, set on both of them at the same time. The game doesn't stop you from doing that. And what that means is that you can activate the Grapple launcher while you're getting pulled by the Grapple launcher. Also, you can quit minigames in this game, and it counts as winning. Quitting counts as winning. Good life values from LEGO. Anyway, I'm going to set up the Grapple launcher on both L and R at the same time, and activate it while I'm being pulled by it, and this bug is in the wrong spot, so I'm going to actually respawn him and try this again. That's just entirely RNG. So hopefully he does not get in the way again. So this is what that looks like here. It's called an extended grapple, and you can do some very silly things with it. And I'm going to hopefully get past this guy there. All the enemies positioning in this game is basically all random. This one is the same principle, but it's a bit trickier because we have to stop on a dime right there and do this little curve jump here. And here, what we can do here is all the edges of every room in the game are standable ground, but you normally bonk on them. But if you short hop to them, you don't bonk. So we just skip 2 levels by going around the guy that normally doesn't move out of the way until you do 2 levels. So that is a lot of time we just saved right there. This is, this is Powahi Zip. This is a sort of abusing a property of the Grapple launcher where if you spawn a text box like we just did picking up that item, while you're being pulled by the Grapple launcher, it puts you in this weird state where you can't bonk on walls. So we're just building up speed against these walls and zipping through the level, and we are now at the end of the level. That is another one of the crazy uses of the Grapple launcher, just like being able to, you know, clip through walls and zip through levels like that. So next here, this next room is going to be sort of the last room that we do as intended during the run, and because of that, I don't really have too much to say, so if there are any donations at this point, now is the time to go for that.
We do not have donations at the moment.
Okay, that's fine. Then basically I can talk a little bit more about one of the downsides of throw swap glitch. That's what I've been using to kill these like giant bugs here. The big scary thing about throw swap glitch is that if you are too close to where the projectile lands, you'll get hit for splash damage, and it does like 2 full dots of damage, and that's a lot. So what you'll see me doing a lot is actually intentionally getting hit by one of the normal attacks of these enemies, and that puts me in invincibility frame so that I don't get hit for splash damage. So I usually end up actually ahead in health after that, because normally the enemy drops like a health pickup. So coming up here is the bug boss. The bugs are not the boss, but I have to dig under these little dots on the floor here. I missed that one, unfortunately, so this is going to be a little awkward, but we're fine. There's going to be 5 of these in this next room here, and these bugs are going to come in and try to just ruin our day. So we're going to kill as many as we need to, but just enough that we can, they're not going to mess us up. And this is a much harder thing than it looks like, because you can only hit these guys when they're running towards you. You can't hit them while they're burrowing up out of the ground or into the ground. Oh, and unfortunately I got stuck on there. The collision is the other reason why this thing sucks. But we made it through, and that was Bug Boss. We just picked up a health container here. It's going to give us a bit more maximum health, which is going to be very useful here. Here, we're going to do another zip, like that last one we did a few rooms ago, but this time, instead of being pulled into an item to spawn a text box, we're going to throw a projectile at it, because apparently that counts as picking it up. Don't worry about it. So we're just going to set up the grapple right here, set ourselves up, and unfortunately, I actually missed the projectile. I missed the easiest shot in the game, and there we go. That's what we want to do. So we're now building up speed against this, because we can't bonk against the wall, and we're just going to clip right through it, like that. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Coming up here is the Scorpion boss. That also, we only clipped through one wall there, but this room is like really roundabout, so we just skipped the entire room there. Now this is the boss here. This is the Scorpion boss. It's a little tricky here because that enemy up top like spawned in a really weird spot, and I didn't hit the Scorpion. There we go. And if I can bait him down to this one here, we should be good. There we go. You just have to dig under him twice while he's stuck on a boulder, and that's how you kill that boss. Coming up here is another minigame that we're going to quit, because quitting counts as winning. And we're going to set up another extended grapple here, because it's a little faster in doing the room as intended. And coming up here, we're going to have another minigame that we're going to quit, because quitting counts as winning. Also, this room is really finicky and you can fall through the floor. Don't worry about it. There we go. And coming up here, we're going to grab the ice pick, and the ice pick is going to come in very handy at the very end of the run. We'll get to that when we get to it. But here, we're going to use another one of these tricks where we just sort of like hop on the edge of the screen here, because this is all standable ground, and this skips 2 more levels, because we just went around the guy that doesn't move out of the way. Also, quitting counts as winning again. And here, this is a little bit faster than going through this level as intended. You can just sort of hop on the wall here. And then here, I'm not going to stick around and see if this guy drops health. Sometimes I do that. I'm not going to do it now because he actually did drop health, but I'm actually doing pretty fine on health right now, so I'm not too concerned with it. Here we go. Coming up here is a jump that is just really lucky that this jump, there is standable ground that's like perfectly placed so you can just like long jump to it and you don't bonk or anything. It's just really lucky that it's set up that way. So that skipped 2 more levels. And we're in the last area of the game, by the way. So if you were wondering just how much we skipped like pretty much all of this game by now. So coming up here, we're going to pick up a lava board because heck yeah, and we're going to skip 2 more levels by hopping on lava. Because again, the edges of all the rooms are standable ground, no matter whether it's over lava or water or a bottomless pit or anything, you can just hop on it. So we just skipped 2 more levels by doing that because that guy normally doesn't move out of the way until you do those levels. And now I gotta make it through this level using the very stupid lava board controls. Basically, it doesn't move in the direction that you tell it to move. So I'll be like pressing directly right here and it'll go upright like that. So a lot of doing this level is just knowing, you know, what direction you actually have to press to go in the right direction. And this room is just like one of the scariest rooms in the game just because everything here hits really hard. And you have these stupid ostriches that are all over the place. And this one's going to try to ruin my day. Basically, if they hit you, oh good, it turned around. If the ostriches hit you, they will knock you over and often into the lava. So I'm going to hope there's no ostriches around here, and it looks like I'm getting pretty lucky with it. There we go. Okay, so that was a little scary, but we're fine. And now we're in the second to last room of the game. Here, we have to push these little boulders across the lava here, using the ice pick to make these little like solidified paths here. And we have to push the boulders onto these switches coming up here, and it's really finicky, and boulder mechanics are awful, and the ice pick mechanics are also awful. So I don't like this room very much, but I'm going to do my best. I'm also going to explain what's happening here at the very end of the run. Coming up here is the only minigame in the game that you cannot skip, and it is awful. It is RNG hell. Basically, you're on the lava board and you have to dodge a bunch of randomly placed obstacles that it just puts in your way, and often right on top of you, so that you fail all the time, and it's no fault of your own. So, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get a frame perfect trick that will allow me to be invincible throughout that minigame. So I'm going to focus here for a moment. I also have to do this stupid little timing thing to grapple onto a moving ostrich. So yeah, I'm going to focus here for a second. It was too early there, so I have to do the minigame as intended right now. So get ready on time. If I do end up getting lucky and making it through the minigame, I'm going to call time. And yeah, so basically all of these, obstacles popping up here are completely random, and, they can pop up right in front of me or on top of me, giving me no reaction time to move out of the way. So I'm just basically praying that that doesn't happen. I have no idea where these are going to pop up or anything like that. Just like that. So get ready because it's getting close to the end here. Time. All right, so that was LEGO Bionicle Tales of the Tohunga. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, we skipped like 80% of that game because this game is very, very silly. Huge shout-outs to Memory. She made the task for this game, and in doing so, she found like every piece of tech that we use in this run. She found everything, every glitch we use in this run, with the exception of like 1 or 2 very, very small things. Like I think Grapple wasn't found by her, but like besides that, everything was found by Memory. So huge shout outs to her. She basically made this run work for being an entertaining RTA run. And one final thing I want to say is if you want to find me on Twitch, you can find me at bionicle.church. That's just bionicle.church. And you can just go there, and that will take you to my Twitch stream, and you can drop a follow right there. Thanks everyone for coming out, and thank you for donating to this great cause.